What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. I got a review for you. Let's get into it. All right, guys, on the table, we have a couple of new models, actually 3 new models from Real Steel coming in via the Lefty Pass Around group. Shout out and thanks to Lefty for letting us take a look at them. So these are actually very interesting models that we're taking a look at. They are part of what it looks like they're calling their Luxe line. So I'm going to introduce them one at a time. First, we have the Stella Luxe here, and as you can see, it has a European 3/4 stop open. Very beautiful sheep's foot-esque blade shape here. G10 scales with a G10 pocket clip and a full-length G10 back spacer. Blade steel is coming in as K110 blade steel, and then it has a polished DLC finish on it. Very nice touch to that one. The next one I'm going to introduce here, it might be my favorite out of this bunch. It's going to be the Luna. And this, again, part of the Luxe series. The Luna coming with the same thing here. You got purple instead, but G10 handles, G10 pocket clip, and you have a full-length G10 back spacer. And this one here coming in with more of a Wharncliffe style blade shape. Beautiful K110 finished with a polished coating here. Not quite sure where this stuff is coming from. Let me wipe that off for the camera. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful thing about the DLC coat is it cleans up very nicely. It's got a nice polish to it. And then this one here is the Solus. I think it's called the Solus. This one here, a little bit smaller than the other two, but same thing. G10 all throughout. And I think this is how they're able to offer these at such an affordable price. And you have Bowler K110 with a polished coating. So this one being the smallest ever so slightly. Let me flip them with the pocket clip up so that you can get a good look at them. So you can see the Solus is the smallest out of the group, and the Luna being the second largest, and I think it's my favorite out of the 3 of these. And then the Stella here is the largest. Very interesting build. So first of all, we have a slip joint with a European 3/4 stop on these. They all have pocket clips on them, and it is nested into the scale here. So it actually sits down in there. The pocket clip, even though it's a G10 pocket clip, it works pretty good. It's got good retention because there is milling or texturing on that G10. It secures into the pocket quite nicely. Ergonomically, not that great because of the pocket clip. The pocket clip for me does kind of land here in the soft spot of the palm, and it does kind of dig in a little bit, but it's not like it's a hot spot. It just takes away a little bit from the ergos because it is kind of thin and a little bit pointy. Very comfortable 4-finger grip on these. They were all very slicey through the cutting task that I did with them, and I will say that the Stella and the Luna actually were my favorite performers because they're more utility blade shaped, so they cut through the material very nicely. And admittedly, the Stella does have the most room out of all of these knives on the table, even though I feel like the Luna is my personal favorite of these 3. But most length and most handle here. Slight contouring, which I think that's what takes away a little bit. Even though I have the most space on here, I feel like I kind of got to angle my fingers a little bit to use this one, which is not a big deal, but I do have to angle it a little bit. When I started cutting with these, they've been in the pass round, so the K110 was a little toothy, and it bit into the paper a little bit. But once you got into the cardboard, man, the thin geometry on all 3 of these was really impressive. Very nice moving through the material and very easy to use. From a pinch grip perspective, I do want to point out that the Stella here has this little fuller, and it actually is kind of nice. My middle finger was landing on that, and then thumb on the blade and index finger out here on the tip. So for detailed work, this one was extremely comfortable to use. I really do appreciate that. It is probably what I would say is like a 3.5 pull, and like a good solid, yeah, I would say 3.5 pull, meaning 3 to here, 3.5 to here, pull on it. It doesn't have a steel back spring. It's a G10 back spring, but I don't think that they're meant to have strong pull, and I really don't think that they're meant to have really, impressive walk and talk. I would say the walk on talk on here is probably not going to be the selling point on it. To me, it's going to be you're getting these at a very affordable price. You're getting a very beautiful DLC coating on here, and you're able to get these at a very reasonable price. And they have different colorways and different color options. They have different blade types depending on what it is that you want to do. Puncture task would be a little bit questionable for me with a slip joint, but if you're just using the dainty tip out here to kind of cut into a box or a package or something like that, it's going to work really well for you. Again, my favorite out of all three of these is definitely the Luna. These are coming in at a very affordable price. They're very lightweight. Let me bring the scale out here so you can see the weight on these. I'm not going to do size comparisons because I figure if you're looking at this video or watching this video, it's probably going to be, a full hand grip. So 1.8, which one is this one? This is the Solus. Then the Luna coming in at 1.8 as well. And the Stella 1.8. That's pretty impressive considering this is bigger, but I guess they did slim it down a little bit for that particular one. But what I was saying is size comparisons, I don't think it's really going to be too important if you're considering these. And if you were looking at an affordable slip joint that you wanted to be a little bit more full size with a pocket clip that you can carry, this definitely fits the bill. Most of my modern traditionals that I have currently, they're fifth pocket pouch knives. They go in a slip so that I can drop them down into the pocket. I usually don't carry a non-locking modern traditional as a primary knife, but I think these are done well enough, especially if you need something or want something, so that again you can get into your packages. You can do a little bit of fruit cutting with this as well with that coating on there. I'm not too worried about any acid or anything hitting on it. It seems like it's a really well done coat. You can see the belt lines on here, which is really impressive for that polished DLC coat that they have on here. And it could be PVD that they polished as well. I think that can be polished. DLC I don't think is terribly expensive to do, but I think it does add to the cost a little bit. For me, I like all three. Honestly, they are very well done knives as a whole. I just prefer the ergonomic comfort on the Luna. For me, even though I fall off a little bit here, it's rounded enough to where I can get that pinky on it and secure it nicely. It's the most comfortable. This one, for me personally, the pocket clip actually kind of lands in between the fingers there, so it's not as noticeable that it has a pokey pocket clip on it. But I really like this blade shape, and I think the styling on this one is my favorite. It's not super neutral, but it does have a neutral handle, and you can see when you hold the handle in hand, it kind of angles everything down. So for utility cutting and work like that, this is, a work knife in my opinion. It's going to work really nicely. And for me, it was the snappiest, which I think your usage may vary depending on which one you get. But they all had very light pulls to open, very thin cutting geometries. G10's a durable material, so it is interesting that they decided to do it all G10 and make it light. And there's not a lot of flex. There's a lot of strength here, so it feels really solid without having any sort of liners or anything like that on the inside. But just wanted to review these, kind of go over them a little bit, not doing it, my typical normal full review on here. Again, I did a little bit of cutting, a little bit of slicing with them, some tabletop just to see what they were like, handled them a little bit for a little while to get a feel for them. And they're very impressive. I've never seen anything like this. It's very different from anything that I've experienced as far as full G10 with full G10 back spring and pocket clips for a European style 3/4 stop modern traditional or a slip joint. I don't even know if this is a modern traditional. Actually, it's getting into that full size, so maybe not so much traditional here, but Real Steel really doing some stuff. What do you guys think about this? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed today's overview, definitely hit that like for me on the way out. It helps. And the links will be down in the description for anything that you're interested in, whether it be this or if you just want to go check out other things at some of my favorite affiliate links. They're down there for you. I hope all of you have a fantastic week. A special thank you to my channel members out there. I love you guys. I hope you all have a fantastic week. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.